Alright, so we're back again with another iPad mini video. Now this is going to be more of a commentary video because it's just mainly me just spilling out my thoughts on the devices. As you may have seen from the title of the video, essentially the iPad mini has ruined my experience with the iPad Pro 12.9 inch. Now I already did a comparison video of the two, so if you want to see that, go ahead and watch it, and I'll kind of give you an answer on which size is better for who. But when it comes to me, I used to be a student. Now I've graduated from college and I don't use my iPad for notes all the time anymore. So my use case is kind of up in the air for the iPad Pro, and I do have it paired up with the Magic Keyboard. So I've been trying to kind of force it to be my laptop. Now when it comes to my use case of the iPad mini, it just kind of came down to using it as just a tablet. And just from using it for a few weeks, I just kind of changed my mind a little bit on the biggest iPad Pro, at least for someone who's not taking notes constantly. So sit back and relax, grab a cup of tea, and let's just go ahead and talk about this a little bit more. Now when it comes to using the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, I've had it for 2 years. And when I saw this iPad mini, I was thinking about how I use my iPad Pro and how I want to use my iPad, now whatever size it might be. Now when it comes to using the biggest size, I loved it for notes. I absolutely love it for notes and I recommend it for students. Obviously the bigger size does make it a little bit heavier and a little bit more clunky to carry around and to have for the portability factor. But because of battery life and just the larger screen and more screen real estate to write notes and also have a textbook side by side, I just felt like it was a perfect size and I kind of accommodated it no matter what. Now when I saw the iPad mini in the keynote, I started thinking about how I became more of a casual user instead of having it be my productivity machine or my essential device for school. And essentially I've been trying to really force the iPad Pro to be like my laptop while I'm at home, while I'm on the couch and doing just easy things. And I do use it for my creative work on my YouTube channel, so I do use it to edit thumbnails a lot, to edit photos in general, and sometimes even videos if I don't want to use my laptop behind me, or if I just need to use it very quickly when I'm out and about. So let's go ahead and talk about more specifically what exactly the iPad mini has really changed or made me think more about. Now when it comes to using the iPad mini, it's just so much easier to carry around. The lighter form factor, the smaller form factor just makes it a lot more comfortable and enjoyable to use, at least in my usage. Not only is it more comfortable, but it's also kind of more fun to use. Now this might be just a factor because it's just a new device that I have, but it might be just the size of it. And another part of this is just content consumption. If you're holding up your humongous iPad that gets kind of heavy, then over time it's just not as comfortable to use as a much smaller iPad. Now I know there's some drawbacks because the smaller battery, but at the end of the day, just having a casual use iPad has just been really refreshing for me to use. And also for all the readers out there, the iPad mini is a great size for reading, and it's also just a very great size to write quick notes in the format of having a journal. And I know journaling is a huge thing, and that's a whole separate video that I might cover later on, but essentially it's the same size as a journal. So essentially if you want to use it as a journal, write down your daily tasks, write down your thoughts, whatnot. And there's a whole bunch of experiments and people online like Matt D'Avella who have talked about how journaling can really benefit you. The iPad mini can be that type of solution for you as well. So it can fill a lot of gaps and be a lot of things for you, and the smaller form factor just lets you carry it around a lot more places, which I think is a nice feature, I guess, of the iPad mini coming from someone who's used to such a big iPad. Now here's one more thing that I absolutely loved, and I was holding the iPad mini in one hand, just one single hand, and just using my other hand to scroll through websites and whatnot. It just felt really comfortable when I was holding it down, either like walking around the house while I'm doing something or watching something, or just even on the couch and just browsing like Amazon, for example. It just felt really nice to have that big screen. So I thought that was really fun, and it really kind of changed my perspective of using a tablet or an iPad. Now I'm pretty sure no one else has also mentioned this last thing that I'm going to say, and that's going to be that the iPad mini should be the official Toilet Squad device. Now I am kind of saying that just to be funny, but at the end of the day, the smaller form factor lets you use it in more places, whether that's good or bad. TikTok already takes up too much of our time, so might as well use a bigger screen for something like that. So what is the outcome of this whole iPad mini and iPad Pro use case for me? And this basically just come down to me really rethinking what I want out of my iPad. Do I want a productive device, or do I want just a tablet and relaxation device because I don't use it all the time like I did when I was a student. I'm trying to think about is like, should I keep trying to force my iPad Pro to act as a laptop, or should I just use my laptop instead? And I have a desktop computer that's custom built PC, and then I have my laptop right there, also a PC laptop, but debating getting the new MacBooks if they come out, whatnot, so I don't really know. And if I were to not have an iPad Pro, then I would possibly want an iPad mini. Overall, it's just kind of confused me on what I want out of an iPad. My girlfriend has an iPad Pro 11-inch, and essentially that I just found to be a little bit more of a comfortable size than having my 12.9-inch. And overall, I think where I'm heading towards is downsizing my iPad no matter what. And essentially this is because of how big the iPad Pro 12.9-inch is and how much it can't really do for me, or at least that I want to do with it. Where the confusion kind of comes in is whether I'm going to downsize to the 11-inch or the mini, because I absolutely love the mini size and I thought it was great. And even though there's a few drawbacks of the mini, it just brought like a whole different use case for the iPad. It just really made me remember what the iPad was kind of created for and not what it kind of is trying to be and trying not to be. So I haven't really made my decision yet, and this video is just kind of me talking or ranting about this kind of subject, and I just want to know from you down in the comments below whether you're kind of seeing a similar choice that you're kind of realizing that you want to make, or, you know, if you have a clear-cut choice. Let's just hash it down in the comments below and have fun doing it. And don't forget to check out some other videos I have on the channel. And don't forget that there's going to be more iPad mini content coming to the channel, so stay tuned, subscribe, and until next time, don't forget to take it easy with some tea.